An absolute pleasure and delight
Hello,
to be a
hello,
part of
hello, check.
this eighth
Hello, hello,
Kalinga Literary Festival. The
check.
only
Hello,
remorse
hello.
is that I couldn't be present there in physical person for some assignments certainly cropping up at Delhi. But believe me, it's a mess for me and not for the literary festival at all. But indeed, it's a great moment for Orissa, for me, for all the Orias settled in Orissa or outside, anywhere in the globe, that we are celebrating this festival of literature which depicts the full expanse of Kalinga literature, Kalinga's love for literature, art, and craft. I am thankful indeed to the organizers for extending this invitation to me and for allowing me to speak virtually with all of you on this occasion. But I have decided that I may have missed this inaugural function. I'll never miss the next 2 days. And therefore, I should be there maybe tomorrow, maybe day after, but I will definitely be there. Kudos to the organizers for organizing this successfully 7 times earlier, and this is the eighth time they're going to organize it in the state. I'm not a man of letters. I never pretended to be. But literature, letters, is something that reflects society, the societal thinking. The society is not devoid of science and technology. Therefore, literature also reflects science and technology. Being a student of science and a practitioner of public policy, I believe that the philosophy of all sciences, all policies, all thoughts converge in an expression of literature. And that is what we are celebrating. We must celebrate this because that's the reflection of society that we live in, that we have lived in, and that we aspire to be in. Between 1600 and 1800, Europe had informal networks of learning operationalized through exchange of letters among scholars, poets, statesmen, thinkers, scientists, philosophers, and various learned societies across the continent. This circular circulation of letters, opinions, literary texts, and knowledge across national libraries was informal, often unregulated and personal, handwritten, and later printed. Yet it played a key role in shaping arguably the single most influential intellectual and cultural movement of the age, the European Enlightenment. This informal network came to be known as the Republic of Letters. This is my own research. I may be right, I may be wrong, but this is my understanding of Republic of Letters. It's pregnant with thoughts, ideologies, philosophies, and the intellectual capital of those times. As India celebrates 75 years of independence, speculating around the idea of a republic coded as a republic of letters, we will produce some interesting ideas. Therefore, my best wishes to the organizers of the Kalinga Lit Fest that let this festival generate ideas, ideas that will energize the society, energize the people, energize the young, vibrant, demographic dividend that we are supposed to, uh, you know, enjoy being a young country, and let this festival in our state actually give a fillip to these energies to be channelized in different areas and different fields. The history of literary movements, literary forms, and production and reception of literary texts will have to be examined to see how social imaginaries inform and shape their trajectories. Literature affects our capacity to imagine in more ways than we think. Indian writing has enlightened the Indian literature with its quality and vividness. Truly, it represented the culture, the history, and all the variants necessary for the enrichment of the literature worldwide, globally. And therefore, the Indian literature gave a fillip to the world literature as a whole. It was Vishwaguru then, and it is Vishwaguru we have to make in the future. Although the writings profoundly deal with regionalism at that time, they crossed the natural boundaries with universal themes of love, peace, brotherhood, universalism, the cosmic energy, spiritualism, and thoughts that transcend religions, races, and cultures. We all know that. This multiplicity gave the writers an enormous liberty to deal with various themes. In fact, this was a melting pot of so many variants, so many thought processes, that what came out of this fusion was something that the world could actually saw for the first time. And it was a signal contribution to the thinking in the world, that is the Indian society itself, the Indian societal values, the Indianness itself. The Indian writers dealt with historical, cultural, philosophical, and much more, basing their themes around mankind. As I said, writers have concentrated their themes around sociological, diasporic elements, feminine subjects, and technologies, explorative writings, and much more. Writers such as Tagore and Prem Chand, in their seminal works, went beyond their immediate context and raised issues that are relevant for the entire country. When Mrinal Sen made a film based on Prem Chand's famous story, The Kafan, he shot it in Andhra Pradesh, in an Andhra village. Tagore's post office was staged in a concentration camp in Poland until all the inhabitants or all the inmates were perished, perished after some time. In his lecture on Vishwa Sahitya, which is the word Tagore used for comparative literature in Bangla, he uses the metaphor of a plan. This is Rujula Das and Paranjape in 2011. Such beautiful words and such great thought, conveying the great integrity of the ideas, of the thoughts, of the people, of the religions, of the sects, and of the caste of India at the time that Tagore was depicting. And literature is the best place where it gets reflected, and Tagore did that. Tagore reflected the society of that time, the thoughts of that time, and gave an inspiration as how to move forward. How to move forward to rebuilding a culture, rebuilding a nation, rebuilding an imagery of India, imagery of a country which they wanted to see. Each one had a contribution to make. And these are the thoughts which have been enshrined in our constitution when we say, we the people give unto ourselves. It is we the people who have given us the constitution, who have propagated the ideas of liberty, equality, fraternity, and dignity. It is in these festivals like the Kalinga festival, that these thoughts get a fresh look, get revisited, and new thoughts emerge. New ideas emerge, and it becomes a much more veritable, enjoyable, and vibrant melting pot of ideas and thoughts that gives direction to the future generation to move forward to building a country that is vibrant and that becomes a Vishwaguru. In 75 years of the Republic that we have had, we have made our own world of ideas, marked by enormous confidence in the power of knowledge. Various literatures have helped understand the country and its people better and provided inputs to the processes of achieving the goals of national development. It is this literature that has facilitated independent thinking, free discussion of ideas, debates, and openness to difference, which is seen as the virtual bulwark of democracy, the foundation of democracy, the pillar on which our democracy stands and has become a beacon to the entire world. However, what must be borne in mind is that literary cannot be segregated from the subliminal layer of the social, where language as a discourse embodies identities, worldviews, attitudes, and assumptions. For instance, the idea of the text in a multilingual and multi-religious society with multiple cultural traditions will not be the same as that in a monolingual culture with a single language and religion. An ethically responsible way of reading Indian text in a context-sensitive way will be a starting point for evolving an Indian school of comparative literature. Such readings will fragment and pluralize our perspectives and alter our relations with the past and the future. In the society that we live, with the thoughts that we generate about how we want to see ourselves and our country and our people and the society in a few years from now or in a long period of time from now on, there are challenges. And these challenges arise mostly from inequities in society. These inequities spread across social, economic, political, gender, opportunities, skill, capabilities, and many other dimensions. For a stable and a vibrant and an inclusive society, literature will play a very significant part in bridging these inequities. A literature based on Jagannath culture as we have in Orissa, a literature based in the spirit of Jagannath, the Lord of the universe, is the only unifying thought that should permeate all literature that we write, of any genre, of any intensity, of any values, because there is one value which is universal, which is the ultimate truth, and that's humanity. That is kindness, that is love for human beings. So in this Kalinga festival that we are celebrating, of which I'm proud to be a part, now online and maybe physically tomorrow or in a couple of days from today, before the function ends, I would wish the organizers the very best. I would congratulate them for continuing to hold it for the eighth time. And most importantly, getting so many people from different areas and walks of life to contribute to their thought in building a society that is kind, that respects humanity, that respects the Jagannath culture that we are all so proud of, that we are so, all of us so embedded in, the culture that makes India what it is. A great country, a country that has given ideas of humanity to the world, a country which has shown light to the world when the world was shrouded in darkness, a country which has given to the world the thoughts of Gandhian ways, a country that has shown to the world that people from various backgrounds can still stay together, united in a single thought, and that thought is humanity. As I said before, I'm sad that I could not be present physically in this inaugural ceremony, but the miss is mine. I would like to make it up tomorrow or day after. Wish you all the best. May you have a great festival. May the festival generate new ideas and thoughts that energizes not just the Orissa youth and the Orissa people, but people from all over the country, all over the world. Goodbye. Thank you. Namaskar.